Sean John Combs was born in Harlem, a neighborhood in New York City, on November the 4th, 1969, but he was raised in Mount Vernon, New York. His mother, Janice Combs, was a model and a teacher's assistant, and his father, Melvin Earl Combs, served in the United States Air Force. At age 33, his father, Melvin, was shot dead while sitting in his car on Central Park West when Sean Combs was just 2 years old. Sean Combs was a business major at Howard University but left after his sophomore year. In 2014, he returned to Howard University to receive his honorary doctorate. In 1990, his career began. He was an intern at New York's Uptown Records. While working as a talent director at Uptown, he helped develop Jodeci and Mary J. Blige. In 1993, after being fired from Uptown, Combs established his new label, Bad Boy Entertainment, as a joint venture with Arista Records, taking with him Christopher Wallace, better known as the Notorious B.I.G. Both Christopher Wallace and Craig Mack quickly released hit singles followed by successful LPs, especially Biggie's Ready to Die album. Puffy Combs signed more acts to Bad Boys, including Carl Thomas, Faith Evans, 112 Total, and Father MC. He also had his in-house production team, which worked with Jodeci, Mary J. Blige, Usher, Lil' Kim, TLC, Mariah Carey, Boyz II Men, SWV, Aretha Franklin, and many others. Mason the Lox joined Bad Boys just when the rivalry began with the West Coast. You know, the Death Row Records with the Tupac and Suge Knight. Puffy produced several songs for TLC's Crazy Sex Cool, which finished the decade as number 25 on the Billboard's list of top pop albums of the decade. Puffy Combs earned 5 nominations at the 40th Grammy Awards in 1998 and would go on to win the Grammy Awards for Best Rap Album on September the 7th of 2000. The album was certified septuple platinum by the Record Industry Association of America for sales of over 7 million copies. By the late 1990s, Puffy Combs was criticized for watering down and overly commercializing hip-hop and for using too many guest appearances and samples of past hits in his new songs. Moving forward to 2023, the music mogul P. Diddy Puffy Combs has had a transformation in life from new accusations of abuse that has impacted some of his business relationships and also his legacy. A few months ago, Sean Puffy Combs was just doing a victory lap for his 3 decades career as a music producer, executive, and all-around hip-hop showman. And he did all this at the MTV Video Music Awards in September, where he accepted the network's Global Icon Award and performed his vintage hit, I'll Be Missing You. Also, P. Diddy Puffy Combs released his first solo studio album in 17 years. But in recent weeks, P. Diddy's reputation has been damaged by 3 civil lawsuits accusing him of assault. The first was filed by Cassandra Ventura, the singer Casey, who was once signed to his Bad Boy label and dated him for years. She alleged that he coerced her into having relations with male prostitutes and years of violence and physical abuse. Her 35-page complaint, filled with graphic details, drew headlines around the world. But her case was settled in just 1 day with no admission of him doing any wrongdoing. You know, P. Diddy, he denied all allegations, but he still had problems when it came to the public and in private. Just this week alone, Puffy Combs stepped down from being chairman of Revolt, which he had been would revoke for 10 years. Several brands and influencers associated with this commercial platform have fled, and in a blow to P. Diddy's larger ambition in social justice, a New York charter school network, which he helped expand and pledged $1 million to, said it was ending its partnership with him. Mainstream audiences that know P. Diddy primarily as the flashy party, hip-hop, and R&B legend, and for putting out people like Biggie, Mary J. Blige, are a little bit bothered by the recent accusations. But in music circles, the allegations recently lodged in the lawsuit against P. Diddy and others in the industry are being viewed by some as a long-delayed reckoning for businesses that largely avoid the repercussions of the Me Too movement, which shook Hollywood and beyond in the late 2010s. P. Diddy has long been trailed by allegations of violence, and he has been arrested 3 times on criminal charges. He was either acquitted or the charges were not pursued in these criminal cases. This incident did not affect his public standing very much, but the suit by Miss Ventura, even after its settlement, and the 2 cases that followed have seemed to put his legacy and brand at risk. This wave of lawsuits against him now threatens that image. In the second case, Joy Dickerson Neal accused him of drugging her in 1991 and recording the incident on video. In her complaint, Ms. Dickerson Neal said that the news of Ms. Ventura's lawsuit had prompted her to file her own. In a third lawsuit, Lisa Gardner says that in 1990, P. Diddy coerced her into having relations and then a couple of days later choked her so hard she passed out. All 3 suits were filed as a deadline approached for the Adult Survivors Act. In a statement, Jonathan D. Davis, a lawyer for P. Diddy, said the new claims against his client for alleged misconduct for many years ago, which were filed at the last minute, are all denied and rejected by him, not by the courts, but by him. He reviews the lawsuits as a money grab. Because P. Diddy's fame and success, he is an easy target for accusers to attempt to smear him. As the news of all these lawsuits against P. Diddy Puffy Combs surfaces through social media, accusations from P. Diddy's past were resurfaced and dissected. In a 2004 interview, Camera Lee Simmons, the model and TV personality that said P. Diddy had threatened her while she was pregnant, Gina Hunn, a one-time girlfriend, said on a 2019 podcast that P. Diddy had dragged her by her hair and thrown a high-heel shoe at her and pressured her to get 2 abortions. The day after Miss Ventura's lawsuit was filed, Camille Bell, a founder of Pound Cake, a rising cosmetic brand, said that she was parting with P. Diddy and his brand because she didn't want to have nothing to do with that, and that she was also a victim of abuse herself. P. Diddy has a platform with a list of more than 160 brands, and they're all eventually going to part ways with this music mogul. Because as of now, P. Diddy remained the face of Delon Tequila on its website, despite his court battle with the brand's parent company, Diageo Delon. The story, the bottle, and the man near a photo with P. Diddy in the days of the lawsuit. Now the photo and the words were scrubbed from the website. A spokesman for Diageo said its board of directors decided to remove P. Diddy's image in the days after Miss Ventura filed the lawsuit. Also, Steve Perry, the founder of a charter school network called Capital Propriety Schools, in 2016, P. Diddy helped start a branch in Harlem where he was born. But this week, Mr. Perry released a statement on the school's website saying, following a comprehensive evaluation, a decision has been made to end the partnership between Capital Preparatory Schools and P. Diddy. But the statement was apparently removed within hours, and the school officials did not respond to requests for explanation. Revolt, which has popular podcasts like Drink Champs, also distanced themselves from its founder this week, announcing that P. Diddy was stepping down as chairman and that this decision helps to ensure that Revolt remains steadfastly focused on their mission. Don Montgomery, a former podcaster, posted on the social media site X that she would not be returning to the Revolt podcast, saying that as a survivor of assault herself, she could not be part of a show that's supposed to uplift black women while Diddy leads the company. And with all that being said, we're going to have our conspiracy theorists who are going to give their spill on it. They would say, hey, you remember the East Coast, West Coast beef? They already got rid of the West Coast warlord, if I call it, which is Suge Knight. They got him out the way. Now we're going to come back years later. Now we're going to hit the East Coast warlord, which is P. Diddy, and get him out the way. Because, too, I kind of can understand a person that's a conspiracy theorist, because these guys are making that elite kind of money. And I know that these elite level of people don't want a black man up there that high with them. And I'm going to leave it there. You can leave your comments and let me know. Do you kind of understand what I'm leaning to when I'm saying they got too big for their britches? And so they have to bring them down a notch. Because now you're up there with the elitists. You see what I'm saying? And that's not me saying that any of these allegations are true or not, because I wasn't there. So I would never say that they're not true, especially when you're talking about women and we're talking about abuse, because those things are real, living and breathing. But I'm just saying we can't not overlook the part that conspiracy theorists, when they say, hey, it's the elites trying to take down these giants, and these giants are black, that would be like, hey, we got to take Egypt down. You know what I'm saying? We got to take down these black kings. They too high. They getting too big. So we know that they're known to do that. So we can't negate the fact that that's a true thing. And like I said, I'm gonna re-say it. It's not me capping for Diddy or nothing, but I know those conspiracy theorists are going to say that. But would they be wrong? Would they be right? It would look kind of similar, right? Because you already knocked off the West Coast top guy, which is Suge, and now you're going to knock off the East Coast top guy, which would be P. Diddy. You see what I'm saying? And it's not to say that he didn't do what he was accused of, because that's not my position. I don't know the women. I haven't talked to the women. I don't know. I wasn't there. But we know that's going to be something that's going to be talked about. Like, wait a minute. I mean, if for the people that use their heads, you're going to have to think about that too. You can't leave that out. But this is going to be the rise and fall of the bad boy empire, the rise and fall of P. Diddy. Right now, with the Grammys coming up, I just read it. It's a lot of celebrities, African American, black celebrities. They are already hollering, we're not going to the Grammys if we have to sit next to P. Diddy. And that's without the facts. They're just going by the allegedly. But then they're going by his history too. I understand that. If you have a past, people will hit you with the guillotine because of your past. But as of now, the way it looks, they don't even want him at the Grammys. And he's up for a Grammy. But they don't want him there. So, you know, when you hear this video, look, tell me what you think about it. Is this going to be the rise and the fall of Bad Boy Entertainment and of Sean Puffy Combs, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy? And with that, I'm going to say this is the news in you. North, east, west, south. Unite from every alley in Cali, intersection and back street. Subscribe to the channel and hit the thumbs up on your way out the door.
Star child, I never
seen the sunshine like this.
I never
Never seen the moon glow like
hey yo, I
this.
never
Never seen the waterfalls like this.
I never